The Gospel according to St. Matthew, the disciples of John approached Jesus and said to him, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast much, but your disciples do not fast?" Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kumusta po? Lalong-lalo na po sa ating pong mga dear students na nasa online joining this celebration of the Holy Eucharist. The issue in our gospel is about doing fasting. In order for us to understand the context of the disciples of John, we must first understand why do the Jews do fasting. They do self-restraint in order for them to focus their attention to God. That is their idea of doing self-restraint, of doing fasting, of doing sacrifices for the Lord, in order for them to focus their lives, their hearts, themselves to God. On that regard, we can understand that the disciples of Jesus do not do fasting because God is with them. Jesus is with them. The focus of the disciples of Jesus is Jesus Himself. The disciples of John and some of the Jews do not understand this because they do not recognize that Jesus is God. Kaya nga po sa tradisyon ng mga Hudyo, until now, they are waiting for the coming of the promised Messiah. Dahil hindi sila naniniwala na si Jesus ay ang anak ng Diyos na pinadala upang iligtas ang sanlibutan sa pagkakasala upang sila ay maging karapat-dapat na pumasok sa buhay na walang hanggan. My dear brothers and sisters, my dear students, the season of Lent is teaching us three things. The threefold characters of the season of Lent: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Let us focus our attention today with the word fast. In the English language, dalawang ibig sabihin ng fast: mabilis, or fast, pagpigil sa sarili. Let me suggest an acronym to the word fast. In this season of Lent, our gospel is teaching us first, letter F, to follow the Lord. To find God in everything that we do. My favorite saint, Saint Francis of Assisi, sees God in creation. Nakikita ni Saint Francis of Assisi ang presensya ng Diyos sa lahat ng nilikha niya. Kaya naman, tinawag ni Saint Francis, Brother Sun, Sister Moon, Brother Ants, Sister Dogs. Lahat ng animals nilikha ng Diyos, nasa kanila ang presensya ng Diyos sa mga bagay na nilikha ng Diyos na mabuti. Sana makita din natin ang Diyos pag tayo'y nag-aaral ng mabuti. Because God deserves the best. When we offer our effort to study well, we are glorifying God. Sana makita natin ang Diyos sa ating mga kapatid, to our parents, to our siblings, to our classmates, to our teachers, to the Benedictine sisters who run the school. May we always see and find God in them. Ano naman yung follow the Lord? That in the season of Lent, we follow the Lord in generosity. We follow the Lord in showing love. Kaya naman po, yung second letter sa word fast is acts of love. Acts of charity. Nung nasa cathedral po ako as the Vice Rector of the Metropolitan Cathedral of San Fernando, ako po yung in charge sa lahat ng mandated organization. Sa mga young people sa Metropolitan Cathedral Youth Ministry. One time, sinabi ko po sa mga kabataan na estudyante, then noon hanggang ngayon, sabi ko sa kanila, huwag na tayong makipagsiksikan na gumawa ng kabutihan, mag-outreach program during December or during the season of Christmas. Dahil nagsisiksikan na yung mga tao sa paggawa ng mabuti sa month na yon, sa season na yon ng ating liturgy. Pero kung titignan natin, in the seasons in our liturgical cycle, ang merong definite instruction to do outreach is the season of Lent. Yung alms giving. Kaya po, tinuro ko sa kanila noon kung pwedeng mag-ipon kayo every day for 7 days, kung pwedeng bawasan nyo ng 5 pesos a day yung baon ninyo, iipunin natin, and then before the season of Lent ends, we will go to an orphanage or to a home for the aged, and we will do outreach program for them. Hindi naman kailangan mag-organize ng outreach program. Ibig sabihin, in the season of Lent, we do random acts of kindness out of our love for God and our love for our brothers and sisters. That is the summary of all of the commandments of God. Jesus told us, these are the greatest among all the commandments, to love God above all and to love our neighbor the way we love ourselves. Letter A, acts of love, acts of kindness. Letter S, dalawa din po, sincerity of heart and sacred silence. In the season of Lent, my dear brothers and sisters, let us be sincere in our dealings with the people around us. Maging sincere tayo sa lahat ng ginagawa natin. Kaya laging sinasabi ni Jesus sa mga hindi sumusunod sa kalooban ng Diyos, you hypocrites. Because the word hypocrites in Greek is being transliterated in the English language, hypocrites. Kaya Kapampangan, hipokrita nga, no? The synonym of the word hypocrites in Greek or hypocrites in the English language is being pretentious. Nagpipretend ka that you are someone that you know everything. In reality, we cannot know everything. Only God can do that. Because we are finite beings, only God is infinite. Kaya naman po, sincerity of heart. And sacred silence. Ano ba yung sacred silence? Ayan po, yung ating mga Benedictine sisters, alam po nila yan. Tsaka yung mga cloistered nuns. Sacred silence in our Christian spirituality means prayer. Communion with the Lord. Because in Christian spirituality, in silence, God speaks to us. In the silence of our hearts, God speaks to us. Ibig sabihin, in the season of Lent, we intensify our communion with the Lord in prayer. Ano po yung last na letter, yung letter T? Thanksgiving. That in the season of Lent and in our everyday existence, we recognize that everything that we have and who we are comes from God. Lahat ng bagay na meron tayo, kung ano tayo ngayon, nanggaling sa Diyos. That is the reason why in our Catholic faith, the greatest act of prayer or worship is the Mass. Because in the Mass, we recognize the goodness of the Lord. How great is God? Dahil ang salitang Eucharist, galing po salitang Griego na Eucharistein. Eu in Greek means good. Charisma, gifts. The Lord continue to give us the graces that we need, even though we are unworthy of them. In order to give back to God, we give thanks to Him. Because the Eucharist, the celebration of the Mass, is a celebration of thanking the Lord. It is an act of gratitude to God. Kaya maririnig niyo po sa misa, sa Eucharistic prayer, especially in the pre-Pass, let us give thanks to the Lord our God, it is right and just. Most Holy Father, it is worthy to give you thanks everywhere. So lagi natin binabanggit yan. Dahil ang misa ay pagpapasalamat sa Diyos. My dear brothers and sisters, our gospel is teaching us to focus our attention on the Lord. In order for us to do that, let us follow Jesus. Let us find God in everything that we do, in creation, to the people around us. In order for us to focus our attention to God, let us do acts of love and random acts of kindness. In order for us to focus our attention on God, let us show sincerity in the things that we do. Let us practice sacred silence in prayer. And may our lives be always an act of gratitude, thanking the Lord for He is great in His generosity. In this Mass, let us ask Jesus to grant us the graces that we need in order for us to focus our attention to Him. Amen.